Why fearful avoidants go hot and cold. Understanding the push-pull cycle, the nervous system, and the roots of emotional ambivalence. Few relationship patterns are as confusing and painful as the hot and cold dynamic. One moment, the connection feels intense, close, even soulful. The next, there is distance, withdrawal, silence, or emotional shutdown. For many people involved with fearful avoidance, the question becomes, how can someone want me so deeply, and then pull away so completely? This video is not about blaming fearful avoidance. It's about understanding why this pattern exists, where it comes from, and why it feels so destabilizing to both people involved. Fearful avoidant attachment is not inconsistency of character. It is ambivalence of safety. Their nervous system wants closeness and fears it at the same time. What fearful avoidant attachment is? Fearful avoidant attachment, also called disorganized attachment, forms when love and fear come from the same source. In childhood, this often looks like caregivers who were loving but unpredictable, emotional closeness mixed with rejection, intrusion, or neglect, safety and threat existing side by side. The child doesn't learn, closeness is safe. They learn, closeness is dangerous, but separation is dangerous too. This creates a nervous system that is constantly conflicted. The adult fearful avoidant wants connection, but connection activates fear. They want distance, but distance activates abandonment. Hot and cold is not manipulation. It is internal chaos. The push-pull nervous system. Fearful avoidants live with two opposing attachment impulses. The anxious side that longs for closeness, reassurance, and connection. The avoidant side that fears engulfment, loss of control, and vulnerability. When the anxious side is active, they pursue, they open, they idealize, they attach quickly. This is the hot phase. But closeness activates attachment trauma. The nervous system becomes overwhelmed. Then the avoidant side takes over. This is the cold phase. The same person who wanted closeness now needs distance to regulate. This flip is not conscious. It's automatic. Why the hot phase feels so intense? During the hot phase, fearful avoidance can appear. Emotionally expressive, deeply bonded, vulnerable, even secure. This is because novelty feels safe, distance still exists, expectations are low. Their anxious side is activated, but not yet threatened. They may idealize the connection, fast-track intimacy, share deeply, feel euphoric. But this intensity is not stability. It's activation. Why closeness triggers the cold phase? As intimacy deepens, expectations grow. Attachment bonds strengthen. Emotional dependency becomes possible. This is where fear enters. The fearful avoidant nervous system starts asking, what if I get hurt? What if I lose myself? What if I can't meet expectations? Their body feels trapped, even if the relationship is healthy. Distance becomes regulation. Pulling away is not rejection. It's survival. Childhood roots of hot and cold. Fearful avoidant attachment often develops in homes where caregivers were inconsistent, love was conditional, emotional safety was unpredictable. As a child, they learned, I need closeness to survive, but closeness hurts, so they never developed a stable attachment strategy. Hot and cold mirrors early relational dynamics: approach, overwhelm, retreat, longing, repeat. The nervous system never learned, I can stay. Why they often feel guilt and shame. Fearful avoidants are often deeply aware of their inconsistency. They feel guilt for pulling away, shame for hurting others, fear of being too broken for love. But instead of processing these emotions, they withdraw, self-protect, rationalize. Shame fuels the cycle. Why you feel addicted to the cycle. Hot and cold creates intermittent reinforcement. The nervous system becomes hooked on. Reunion after distance, relief after withdrawal, emotional highs after lows. This is not love. It's conditioning. Your body starts chasing the hot phase and tolerating the cold one. This is how trauma bonds form. Why they struggle to leave and to stay. Fearful avoidants often feel stuck. Leaving triggers abandonment fear. Staying triggers engulfment fear. So they oscillate. They may break up and return, withdraw and re-engage, promise change, and then pull away again. This is not indecision. It's nervous system conflict. Can fearful avoidance heal? Yes, but only with awareness, nervous system regulation, trauma-informed work, consistency over time. Healing requires learning to tolerate closeness without fleeing, and distance without panicking. Without this work, the cycle repeats. What to do if you're involved with a fearful avoidant. Understanding explains the behavior, but it does not mean you must endure it. You are allowed to want consistency, safety, emotional availability. Love should not feel like instability. Healing does not require you to sacrifice yourself. The deeper truth. Fearful avoidants don't go hot and cold because they don't care. They go hot and cold because closeness and danger are wired together in their nervous system. Until that wiring changes, intimacy will always feel unsafe. Hot and cold is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of unresolved attachment trauma. You cannot love someone into stability. You cannot heal someone by staying longer. Sometimes the most compassionate choice, for both people, is to step out of the cycle, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Because healthy love is not hot and cold. It is warm, steady, and safe.